DC here. Hi guys and gals. Well, usually on Wednesdays, or very often on Wednesdays, I make a vlog. I'm on vacation this week, so I don't know how much of a vlog it'll be. Actually, I thought I'd vlog while doing some questions in a tag. Dave Nicholson put up something it was the 31st of May, called the 20 question tag, which had some of the weirdest questions, which I probably won't answer those, but we'll see. Question 1 was a bit like, what trait or skill makes your cat smarter than any dog? Well, we did have a cat, that's Cleo, hence the name Dago, which is our dog, Cleo, the cat. Cleo was, I don't know, she was just, I don't know if she was a dog in cat's clothing. What I mean by that is that, for example, you'd throw a stick, Dago would just kind of look at you and say, you want me to go get that stick? And Cleo would run off, Logger's itch, and run off and try and bring it over to you. Sometimes it was just too big, you know, the stick was just too big for her. Where she was really the boss between the two, and I mean when it says really smarter, is that if she wanted to sleep in the dog's bed, so he had a basket in the room, she would go under the dog, and the dog would stand up, and then, well, first off, she'd come in front of the dog and lift her tail and place part of her anatomy on the dog's nose. The dog kind of went like kind of nutty and stood up. As soon as the dog stood up on all fours, the cat would immediately go under the dog. But it wasn't enough that by then she was in his basket. No, the dog was standing up, so she would lick. You can imagine where. She knew exactly where to go. Certain parts of the dog's anatomy popped out, and the dog would go nuts. And he'd start running around, and she would just basically lie in the basket. So that was a trait or skill. It certainly made her smarter than the dog. Mind you, the dog a few times tried to do things, but didn't work. Anyway, there was another question. Would you rather be blind or completely forget your memory to this point? Geez, that's a hard question. I would hate to be blind. By the way, I am drinking a beer. I'm on vacation, so I'm having a beer in the week. I probably would rather lose my memory. I don't know. But to be blind, that would be horrible. Horrible. How do you tell your life story in as much detail as possible in 5 minutes? Well, I'm not going to take 5 minutes. I've been telling you my life story most of the last few years, but you know, basically brought up in a bilingual town, married my first girlfriend, had 2 kids. We moved to Switzerland before that, of course. Finally moved and stayed in Switzerland. Retiring, coming soon, 2 grandchildren. Okay, extremely quickly and very out of sync. Okay, but you know, there's a lot of things in there. Do you start to feel the Monday syndrome from Sunday on? You know something? No matter how well or how bad my work time went, I never really felt all that Monday syndrome all that much. It was just like Sunday was usually pretty busy. And so when Monday was there, it was there, you know. I don't know. No, I could say no. What is a simple learning experience that happened to you by an accident? It was an indirect accident, but Mrs. DC actually lost a wheel on the car while driving. And the night before, I had heard a knocking noise, and I had thought, hadn't had the brains to check if that wheel was well screwed on or something. Anyway, So yeah, she was lucky, nothing happened. She was driving to the garage and the wheel came off, the front wheel. Yeah. Check if you hear a noise on your car. Do you know someone who has phobia of technology? Yeah, I know a few people. Yeah. And they will just never learn. They just never will. And they will not touch it. It's just something it's not something that they want to touch. They're afraid of it. What is your starstruck moment? A few times when I made presentations in front of a few hundred people, and they went well, and I felt really, really good. Yeah. You know, there's things like that happen to you, you know, every now and then. Yeah. What is the scariest monster ability you can think of? I don't know. I'm not even going to bother answering that one. What's the next one? What can you do when a difficult day causes you to ache too much to be able to lie down and sleep? I don't know if I've ever had that happen. I don't know how to answer that one, actually. I'd just lie down anyway, I guess. Yeah. What are some fond memories of your aunt's shoes? Now that is a weird one. That is a weird one. I don't think I have any fond memories of any of my aunt's shoes, but I do remember like aunts, you know, talking about shoes, stuff like that. You know, that's about it. Yeah. What's something Obama knows that would scare normal people? Obama has such a high opinion of himself that that's just enough to scare anybody. Just listen to any speech and count the number of eyes. Okay. Have you ever dropped your phone down the stairs? No. What knocked you out? Nothing up to now. What's worse than the fear of developing cancer? Somebody you love developing cancer. In modern technology, if modern technology disappeared tomorrow, how would you spend your day? Probably like I used to, you know, reading a lot of books. I read a lot on the Kindle, but frankly, I read a lot on the screen. I just go back, you know. I used to read like more than a couple books a day at the time when I was a young teenager. Yeah, I guess I'd go back to that. How do most people? Where's the next one? Where do most people go, but never see? I don't know what the question means. So I'll go to the next one. What will you do when you die? Well, I guess I'll be dead by then, so I don't know what I'll do. Well, I guess actually I would say I shouldn't know what I'll do. You all know I'm Christian, so I guess that means that I'll be with Jesus. I'll be up in heaven. What next after death? Well, I just answered that. What is the worst thing to pass? I don't know what to answer on that one. What do you think death really is? It's a passage. It's a passage from this world into the invisible world. And that would be it. Yeah. So I managed to get those questions, some of them. I don't know. Some of these questions were really weird. I don't know where Dave got those. But, I mean, some are really weird. You know, there's one thing about all these questions and I've been realizing it more and more as I've been doing more tag videos over the last period. A lot of the questions come back. And then again, a lot of them are so weird that they make you think on, okay, now what could he have meant, you know? Now, like the thing about the aunt's shoes. I mean, I do remember, you know, certain things like, you know, how some of the aunts who, depending on where they were working and what they were doing, they would discuss, you know, about the practicality of different types of shoes. Or they would, you know, have things like, oh, well, like if we were going snowmobiling or dancing or stuff like that, and people would, discuss about, how much you want to have something that's useful to something that is practical, and so on. And I remember saying, discussions like that, and there was the usual, I guess the usual thing that you would see. I'm over 10 minutes now. The usual thing you'd see with women, they would discuss a lot about high heel shoes versus flats and stuff like that. Okay, anyway, so that's kind of a interesting vlogging while doing a tag type of cache. Cache? Did I say cache? I went geocaching today. I think that just kind of came in. So anyway, DC signing off. Take care, everybody. Hope you're all well on this Wednesday. Bye-bye.